in about 2 weeks, October 5th and 6th, from 10 to 5 on 2 days. And so there are 20 participating studios. And there are these pamphlets that were sitting on your tables. And so all the artists that are participating are listed in the pamphlet, and there's a map inside. And so you can plan out if you want to go and stop in at the studio, and a lot of them will be demonstrating how they make their work. So for instance, there's a glass artist, Tanya Lyons, or a knife maker, Grant Fraser.
Who didn't show up today?
Yes, I know, it was advertised, and there were people here to see him, but, and then there's Jessica and myself. And there's 20 different stops, and some of these studios are open by appointment year-round, so you could plan at any time of year, contact the artist directly, and plan a visit. For instance, at Northern Viking Farm, where I am, just outside Eganville, we have a little farm store that's open by appointment. So with all these products and more, like I just brought a sample of what we have.
Nice.
Jessica, did you want to say anything more about the tour generally?
I have distributed these far and wide, and whenever you go to take these to somebody else's tourism office, they want to give you their local brochures as well. And I can say without too much bias, we have the best brochure in the business of studio tours. I didn't design it, so I can say that. They did a great job. There's the map, as Catherine said, and there's details about each individual artist or artisan. And there's a lot of these studios have guest artists as well. So you get to see people that wouldn't normally be geographically in this area necessarily. There's a website that has all the information so you can plan ahead. And I would like to, before I forget, thank our sponsors who are all listed in the back, because of course a tour like this takes many people to put together. So we appreciate their support. And the fall tour is the best one because of the fall colors. It's the perfect, I mean, even though it's rainy today, I'm sure you noticed you had a beautiful drive in. It's only going to be more beautiful by next weekend. It's a great, I see a lot of carloads of people who have brought their sister, daughter, friend, a couple of couples come in a car, and they just make a weekend of it and go around, and it's delightful, I'm going to say. It's delightful on our end of it as well, meeting everybody, talking about what we do. So we've brought with us, everybody couldn't come because that would be very crowded. There'd be like 26 of us up here. We've brought samples from some of the other artists and artisans. If you haven't had a chance to check these things out up close, please do. There's a really beautiful range of skills and diverse offerings on this tour. So we have everything from Catherine's Icelandic sheep farm and the wool and what her kids make, which makes me feel like an underachiever. There's also, we've got pottery, we've got painters. Tanya, as you mentioned, is a glass artist. Soap making, there's beeswax candles as well. What am I forgetting? The knives, tie-dyed. She's a fantastically fun person to visit too, Ree, with her tie-dye if you haven't. There's Solar Woodcuts is back on the tour after a bit of a hiatus.
Basket making.
Basket making right in front of my eyes, thank you.
Soap making.
Yeah, you should have a brochure on your table. I passed them out as best I could. If you don't, there are extras up here. Please help yourself. And this will have everything you need to know.
And it's a really unique opportunity to see how they make their stuff. That's really what the tour is all about, is these artists are opening up their doors so you can go to Tanya's and see her at work with her flame torches, or explaining the process of how they make their work.
Yep.
Right? So that's what makes it so unique. Rather than just going to the shop and buying something, you actually see what it takes to create this stuff.
And you can talk to them about inspiration and stuff. I have to admit, as a photographer, you will not see me working at the tour.
No.
Because it's not really a studio-based practice, but I talk to a lot of people about where the work comes from. And a lot of that is coming from my garden right now, so I also tour people around the garden if they're interested. This is a great time of year for seed collecting. So we did a bit of that last year too. And then the one other thing I want to say before I forget is if you normally rely on your GPS, you will lose a signal in some of these areas. So if you need a road map, if you don't already have one, I have a stack of road maps as well. You can come up and ask me at the end, or just sort of have an idea where you are going before you head out, so you don't, although getting lost in the country in the fall isn't the worst thing.
But that's where these signs come in handy, because
Yes.
every studio will have one of these at the end of the driveway, and even at the road signs as you're getting close,
Yep.
with arrows, you know, pointing you in the right direction.
Yep. And on the, did they put it? In the brochure, it also tells you the great places to stop for coffee and snacks on the way. So if you need a break, there's all over the place. Along the way is what the page is called. So if you need a little rest, maybe they have Wi-Fi if you need it. I don't know. I can't think of anything else about the tour, but if you have questions,